backyard. Hold on. Let me close my window.
Mhm.
You guys can say hi. There's like this Asian lady that just chills in my backyard. um, yeah. Hey guys. We're live and we have interesting topics for today. And yeah, that's my 7-second spiel. I don't know.
Hey guys, what's going on? Comic Talk is back.
Yeah, it is. We're just hanging around for a second, see if anybody jumps in. My mouse pad is breaking.
I just bought a new one. It's a Punisher one, so it's Punisher logo on the mouse pad.
We were
So that's
moving.
pretty cool.
My mom just had like this really high tech looking one, and I was like, "Hey, can I have that?" She's like, "Yeah." I was gonna throw it away. I was like, "Why don't you throw that away?"
Yeah.
It's like a Blackbird. I don't know, but yeah, comic world. What's up?
Not much. We're here with you guys again. Should be
Okay.
fun.
You sound a little glum today.
Oh, no.
All right, so yeah, we can go ahead and get right into it. All right, what's the first topic? First topic. Let me get it pulled up. All right, yeah. So the Comic Talk website. I made a video about this, and since this goes up on everybody's channel, we can talk about it for a little bit. I set up a website. I know me and Comic World had talked about it previously. So when my sleep schedule was all messed up, at 3 in the mornings, I created a website for Comic Talk, and you guys can check it out in the description. We have exclusive content that we'll be posting there, all of the Comic Talk episodes, about pages, a forum for you guys to talk up. Each forum has one, so there's a forum for me, Comic World, and NerdHype. So everybody has their own individual forum, suggestion forums. There's really a lot of cool stuff, and even a spinning logo, because I thought that was reminiscent of old school comics.
Oh yeah, the old Batman logo. Da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, I was just watching this short film earlier, and it was like old school Batman becomes new Batman, and he was like in his Adam West type of like super ugly like eyebrow drawn on mask and
Yeah.
old school suit, and then he like gets this latex or whatever, like molten latex or something poured on him, and he like transforms into the new suit Batman. It's like the weirdest thing ever. Yeah. So what do you guys think about the website?
Looks pretty cool so far, and I really love the additions of us having our channels on the forum, so thank you for that. And I think it's going to be a good medium for users and subscribers to come and, talk to us, even just on the forums, leave us any questions, and great media for, it's a great source of media for posting your videos and exclusive content, so all you guys make sure you go check that out. I will be contributing exclusive content to the site as well.
Yeah. And I'll go ahead and, if you guys, I don't know, I haven't told you guys yesterday, if you make accounts in the forum, just you two, I can make you admin so you can, like, control stuff.
Perfect.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so if you just make an account, it'll tell me, and then just let me know when you're on, and I can just access your account, make you an admin.
Okay,
And then
that's cool.
I'll get it all figured out. We can talk about this later off stream, but about uploading videos and exclusive stuff. But yeah, so and also one of the things is domains. We have to pay. Were one of you guys just on the website?
Yes, me.
Oh yeah, I just saw like
Yeah.
it was like online, anonymous. Yeah. And so if you guys ever want to donate to, I don't know if you guys have donation things, but set up donation things for the website so we can help fund for like the domain and stuff. So there's not all these annoying website banners, like, because it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And so yeah, I was gonna pay for it myself the other day, but I just didn't get around to it for the first month because there's like a deal for like first couple months. But yeah, so right now we have a free domain in place, but there's still ads on the website. So
So just about to shout out to the users and the subscribers. If you want to help donate to Comic Talk website, it just helps makes the website more easier and more accessible to you. So that would be great.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and set up like a donation thing in the name of Comic Talk, and I'll give everybody access to it, so that way there's no like tomfoolery, people taking stuff out. But yeah, so if you guys do decide to donate, though, we're gonna probably eventually, because it's just a free building thing, we might hire a website designer to like, make it. It's cool right now, but to make it like super professional. And it wouldn't be too much different, but we can also pay for the domain, and that way it's not some long link.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if people are aware of this as well, but we actually do have a domain over at NerdHype. It's www.nerd-hype.com, and it's still a work in progress. But right now, basically, all it does is it pulls off the videos off YouTube and it has them in an easy playlist format on the website. It'll later on be a thing for like blogs, for articles, for forums as well. And we will have all that set up. But right now, this is just what we have set up. And we really, we're just kind of fortunate to get it because we have our good friend. I don't know if you guys ever watched the Dragon Ball Z Infinity Cast. Our friend Gibson Lazak, he's actually a web designer, and he managed to give us domain on one of his servers. So we weren't really paying that much for it.
Oh, that's cool.
So we were pretty fortunate on that.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. I'm on it right now. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Looks nice.
Maybe see on the top little logo, even included the on the little
Avengers.
tab. It has the Avengers A. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's pretty cool.
Thought that was a nice little touch.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to point out again that me and Explaining MCU, we also have Patreon if you guys want to help us. If you guys want to go pledge or donate, and you'll get exclusive content on there as well. And you'll be helping me, and you're going to be helping, make the YouTube channel better by me buying better mics and stuff like that.
Yeah. Same goes here, yeah. It's definitely pretty helpful and rewarding to you and for everybody.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Alrighty. It has been... I keep forgetting to set my timer. Yeah, so that was our just little website thing. We can go ahead and move on to comic stuff for real.
Yeah, let's move
And
on to that.
it's at the time of writing this, it was more than 40 comic covers leaked, and I think it's been confirmed that these are the comic covers. With comic stores being given lists of what's going to happen after Secret Wars?
Post Secret Wars, yeah.
Yeah. They're kind of like is it kind of like a reboot? Because I don't want to use reboot
Well,
and then not.
Essentially it is a reboot without technically being a reboot because
It's like a so I don't mean to interrupt you, but it's not like a character's reboot of sorts. It's like
in a way it is because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's like a different Hulk now, and there's different types of characters. Like we have instead of the young Wolverine, we have Old Man Logan in the new continuity. So it is a reboot technically, but it's more of Marvel trying to tidy up all its stories and all its other continuities that it's not really using, and it's all putting them into one mainstream continuity.
Yeah. I just meant when it's not like when people think of like the Spider-Man reboot, they would think like how the movies would take it and they would just reboot it again and again and again.
Right.
I'm saying more so. It's almost like I feel like comparing it to how the New 52, like when they on DC totally redid everything, like made it new again.
Mm-hmm.
Almost kind of like that, like an event, and then what are they doing now? They're doing what is it?
Convergence.
Convergence, yeah.
Convergence ended a little while ago, so now they're doing the Dark Side War and then et cetera, et cetera.
I tried reading Convergence, but man, I got like
DC.
the fourth issue, and I couldn't it was not my cup of tea,
Yeah, and the thing with Convergence was that it kind of required knowledge from the reader for the last 50 years. So if you haven't been keeping in the last 50 years of continuity of DC, you're just not going to get it. And it's a bunch of characters that aren't Batman, aren't Superman, aren't the Green Lantern, aren't Flash. So it's just like a whole cup of who cares. Whereas Marvel's Secret Wars, it led into with like the heavy hitters. You got Spider-Man, you got Star-Lord, you got Black Panther, Reed Richards, Doctor Doom is God, and so you care because it's all your favorite characters all in the lineup.
Yeah.
And that was the problem with me. Like, I didn't know, I don't know much about DC, so when I went into conversions, I was like, this is pointless to me. You know, I don't care about these characters.
Yeah, I know probably more about DC than the average, just, you know, maybe moviegoer or like just average, I like Batman, I like Superman, I watch the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know more, but definitely nothing compared to like, you know, people that are hardcore DC. I know way, way, way more about Marvel than I do DC. Like, I'm sure that's a given. But, like, yeah. I like certain characters from DC, like Green Lantern and Flash. I love those characters. They're really interesting characters. They're especially with Flash being, like, when you would think about superpowers or when somebody asks you, if you could have a superpower, would it be? People usually choose, like, I would fly or read minds or run super fast or things like that. You know, Flash is like, I run really fast. He's kind of the old school superpower.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: with all these new covers being released and all these new books being released, which ones are you guys more stoked for?
I haven't seen him actually.
The new Hulk. Because I want to know who it is.
Oh yeah, definitely. I want to know who it is too.
Actually, I don't know. I mean, Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen?
Yeah.
Spider-Gwen?
She's like my favorite character right now, besides Thanos. So Thanos takes a cake. I just looked up news. There's news that got updated 5 hours ago and 3 hours ago. Wow. They just released the official covers. Where was I today? Oh, I was recording things. Yeah. Probably, yeah, Spider-Gwen or... I don't know.
I feel like I'm going to be reading a lot of these titles. A lot of these look really good. Then I want to read the new Amazing Spider-Man specifically, and Daredevil, Devil's Apprentice looks really good as well because he looks like he's back in his Shadowland costume. And I don't know if you guys noticed, if you guys saw the cover, but the Apprentice kind of looks like Gambit. So imagine Gambit training under Matt Murdock.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be yeah.
Oh, it does actually.
Yeah, and then I was looking at the Uncanny Avengers 2 and the new Deadpool book because I'm a huge Deadpool fan.
Yeah, I was looking at the Deadpool, and that one looks cool.
Deadpool being an Uncanny Avenger is a pretty legit team. I mean, the team itself, it's got what? It's got Spider-Man, Quicksilver, Brother Voodoo, Captain Steve Rogers, Rogue, Human Torch, and Deadpool. So that looks like a pretty crazy lineup. I'd watch that.
Hell yeah.
And I'm looking at a cover. It's what is it? Sam Wilson, Captain America. It looks like Steve Rogers and was it Falcon now? They look old and like split apart.
I feel as if
He looks really
Steve
old.
Rogers is taking the old Nick Fury spot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like the old Commander spot. So I don't know, but there's a lot of these titles I'm pretty excited for that I'll probably read.
Especially, what is Silk? Is Silk is that something we've seen?
I don't know. I thought like a Silk we've seen.
Looks kind of like a girl
Silk. Yeah.
Silk came
yeah.
out at the beginning of Spider-Verse and at the end of Original Sin.
It's all right. I mean,
she's an interesting character.
Yeah, she's definitely interesting, and that's why I kept reading Silk, because her background story is pretty interesting. You know, she's been like locked up in this place for like I forgot how many years, like 4 years or something like that. And you know, she wasn't or Peter Parker wasn't the only one that was bitten by the spider, I believe, and then Silk got bitten by that same radioactive spider.
I feel like what was I gonna say? Somebody say something. I'm totally confused. The
thing that surprised me about the Silk cover was that it's called the Sinister Silk. So are we gonna see her in a villain shape now? Because she's been kind of like a sidekick to Peter Parker. Because she's in a bank, she's holding a bag of money. You know, a cop's knocked out in the corner, and then she's looking around like all sinister, like, and it's called the Sinister Silk. So that's what I'm wondering. I mean, is it going to be something where she's a villain now in this universe because she really wasn't in the last one? I think it have to be explained in the Spider-Verse stories that are coming out of Secret Wars. Maybe it's a different alternate reality where Morlun managed to corrupt her. and so she's become bad or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, something I noticed is that Spider-Man's, like, the Spider-Man as a whole, like, I'm missing the words, but they have, like, so many of Spider-Man's characters and things that revolve around him are getting their own things, like Carnage, Venom, Spider-Man 2099, Web Warriors, Amazing Spider-Man. Then we have, like we were saying, Silk and Miles Morales. And there's just a bunch of, like, Spider-Man characters that are getting their own thing. Spider-Gwen, not to mention.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
I feel like they're not overdoing it, but there's a lot that they're doing with Spider-Man because it's popular. But I kind of wish they would have rebooted maybe more. How would I put it? Lesser known characters. They did Howard the Duck though.
Howard the Duck.
Awesome. Howard the Duck.
The Howard the Duck series that's been going on is pretty funny.
Yeah, it looks funny. Howard gets a new hat.
My brother was actually talking about how he was disappointed that there wasn't a new Moon Knight book.
Yeah, I would have loved to see that.
Oh yeah, that would have been cool.
There's the other thing I found interesting is how they're kind of treating Peter Parker now. Like, how do you guys feel about that? Because they're talking about that they're going to make him basically an industrialist, whereas he's the head of Parker Industries. He's older, his suit has more tech, and he has the not so well received Spider-Mobile. I don't know if you guys seen the pictures of that. Not a lot of people are liking that. So, how do you guys feel about how they're treating Peter Parker? 'Cause they say he's going to be a mentor to Miles, so this kind of makes sense. Puts him in that capacity.
Being a mentor to Miles definitely sounds good. I feel like if you've ever seen the animated show, what is it, like Spider-Man Web Warriors? I watched that for a little bit, and there's when he's basically when he travels into the Ultimate Universe and he meets Miles, they're kind of like not the same age, but he's not totally older. He's still Peter Parker in the 616 universe, but he goes over to the Ultimate Universe, and he's not like they're trying to do him now, some rich, like you were saying. I feel like if he was more still the same old Spider-Man and he was just in his normal routine, he added almost like a sidekick of sorts, and then much like we've seen with how, I guess you compare it to like how Robin became was Batman's sidekick, and then he grew out of that into his own superhero, changing and evolving and stuff. And if it was more like that, where he started kind of a sidekick and they worked together, instead of him being like some way higher class mentor, if they would have kind of kept it the same, but obviously changed some things, I feel like they're trying to do a little bit too much and almost move past Peter Parker. I don't know how to say it other than like they're trying not to get rid of him, but they're adding so many more characters that he's almost not being pushed out of the spotlight, but sort of, because they're trying to bring in new blood,
pretty much.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about that, because if you remember back in the 90s, there were at least 4 or 5 different Spider-Man titles being released at the same time. Like, you had the Amazing Spider-Man, the Spectacular Spider-Man, you have the Web of Spider-Man, all of these titles coming out at once, and it was all at Spider-Man's peak popularity. So now you have a bunch of different Spider characters coming out. And to me, what this relationship feels like, now that Peter Parker is going to be the head of Parker Industries, and he's going to be, kind of a, I guess you could say, he's going to be rich. He kind of feels to me like the relationship he had with Tony Stark at one point.
I was going to say that too. I don't mean to cut you off, but that was one thing I left out. I was just going to say he almost reminds me of like how Iron Man was to the same kind of similar situation. There are so many rich superheroes that are almost like trying to take old stuff from how their relationship was and just like redo it.
Yeah, that's what I kind of find liked about it. About the comic world, you got any thoughts about it?
Oh no, I was just I'm looking at the covers for the new issues that are going to be released.
Yeah,
and a lot of them look. Oh, sorry. A lot of them look interesting, and I was looking at Doctor Strange and the Vision. Those are, I think, because I don't know about you guys, but like Doctor Strange is like one of my top 10 favorite superheroes, as well as the Vision. So that looks interesting.
I'm interested to see how what is it? What is this? What is the name of the new Wolverine? Is it Weapon?
Oh,
is it like
X-23?
X-22?
X-23.
Yeah. I was thinking 22 for some reason, but she looks cool. She has Wolverine's outfit, of course. Not as many,
I was looking at
not as many
that. That's
calls.
interesting.
Yeah, and then Carnage. Carnage looks really cool, like a tunnel going through his mouth.
What about the main Avengers lineup? What do you guys think about that? Because it's at the moment it's Iron Man, female Thor, Jane Foster, Sam Wilson, Falcon. You got Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. You have Vision. You have Miles Morales and Nova. Those are your main stay Avengers right now.
Yeah, that'll be definitely cool. There's a lot more than usual, right? There's usually not as many.
Yeah, well, you have your Avengers, you have your Uncanny Avengers, your New Avengers team. The New Avengers team to me seemed like that was like the weakest one because, for one, it looks like they're more centered around AIM, Advanced Idea Mechanics, but it looks like the lineup is Songbird, Hawkeye, Wiccan, Hulkling, and Squirrel Girl, and Sunspot. So just with Squirrel Girl, you're like,
Well, she took down Galactus.
Yeah, but I'm just like, that looks to be like the weakest team.
Yeah.
As far as the other Uncanny Avengers, like I said earlier, that one has Spider-Man, Quicksilver, Brother Voodoo, Steve Rogers, Rogue, Human Torch, and Deadpool. Like that just seems a little more star-studded than the New Avengers.
I can say one thing: there's going to be a lot more Spider-Man cosplay.
Yeah.
Like so much more. And one thing I was talking about, I was going to say earlier when we were talking about Captain America moving kind of towards a Nick Fury spot is I was watching this video, and I think I sent a link to Comic World when I was watching it about who the like the confusion between how in the movies Nick Fury is black and in the comics he's white. They were saying that how he used to be, I think it was in the Ultimate Universe, he was black, and it was well received, so they put him into the main universe as, was it Nick Fury's son?
Nick Fury Jr.
Yeah, Nick Fury Jr. And so they were saying potentially if Samuel L. Jackson decides to step down from that or dies in the movies somehow, we could see it maybe it's revealed as he's actually Nick Fury's son, and like almost how in The Dark Knight, how they were like, you should use your full name Robin, like you should use your full name Nick Fury Jr. And then we see a transition to the comic book version of Nick Fury kind of step in and take over.
Honestly,
that would be pretty interesting.
In theory, that would work. I just feel like in practice it wouldn't really pan out as well. And to tell you the reason why is that there's a lot of backlash going on right now between comic world and comic movies and stuff like that because of the whole diversity issue. So if you go and take a well-received, beloved character who is of a minority, and out of nowhere you replace them with the white guy, like there's going to be all kinds of uproar. And and then that would be cool. Like I've honestly,
I don't think a lot of people understand though. Like that's the original comic thing. I think people are naturally, I guess I would say some people are naturally just racist, and they feel like everything. So if certain things, I don't want to get into like a race topic here, but if that would be taken, then they would be like, oh, they're doing it because he's black, or and then, but it's kind of similar how they're bringing in new characters of minority, like Miles Morales, for example. They're bringing in things, so I feel like you could argue some people that are, I guess I would say, stupid and don't understand the comic part of how it would make sense. Could be like, oh, it's because of race, but it could really be because Samuel Jackson doesn't want to continue being Nick Fury anymore, and they really could have already done it. They could have done it in Winter Soldier where he really did die, and maybe they go into the lab and there's some white guy standing there, and they're like, who are you? And this was my son, Nick Fury. That would have been like a whole plot twist, and that could have added so much more to the universe. But then I see your point on how people could be like, why'd you kill him off? Because you wanted a white person instead? Is that why you did it? It's like, no, well, he didn't want to be in the movies anymore, or something like that.
Yeah.
But I definitely see your point.
Speaking of diversity, though, and now that we're going into the realm of these new comics, Totally Awesome Hulk #1. The main speculation is that we're going to have an Asian Hulk because they're saying that the new Hulk will be Amadeus Cho.
Really?
Interesting.
So that's like the main rumor.
I could see how that happens.
How do you guys feel about getting rid of Bruce Banner, though? Because I know he's
I'm on the fence about that, actually.
I don't know. I love Bruce Banner. So.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's definitely cool. And I don't know. I was watching a video. Some people were saying that it could be Odin's son because he lost his arm, and some people were saying it could be Teen Hulk.
Yeah, because if you see the cover, it's like his hand is
his hand's blacked out as well. So something has to be going on with his hand. And
yeah, that could be Odin's son. Like
almost
said,
like.
Yeah.
If you notice the writers and the artists, the writer is Greg Pak and the artist is Frank Cho, both Asian.
Oh.
They might just write him in to be Amadeus Cho for the Asian aspect because there's not a lot of.
Did he lose his arm though?
No, it just might be blurring it out for an effect. I mean, they're just trying to mislead you sometimes. But that's like the main prevailing theory. Like supposedly there have been leaks. Yeah, supposedly there have been leaks that it's going to be Amadeus Cho because according to what I've heard about this new Hulk is that it's a Hulk that enjoys being the Hulk. And there's a lot of repercussions behind that because obviously Bruce Banner was always one that was cautious about being the Hulk because like I don't want to hurt anybody. This guy's just coming in like just comes in and smash stuff, like he doesn't care. He likes being the Hulk.
I think you're right. I just looked up a piece of information and it looks like it looks like a picture of him riding away on a like a moped with Hulk in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I could see it. It could definitely work. And yeah, how they were saying he almost. I think somebody was saying he almost is. He's kind of immature as the Hulk, but
yeah.
And I mean, being a teen, it makes some sort of sense. I think it'd be cool to see Odin's son though, because he used to be Thor and now he's Hulk, and all the fights between Thor and Hulk.
That's one question that I had raised about that because there was no mention of Odin's son anywhere in any of the books.
He's not Thor anymore.
Yeah, he's not Thor, but
he's out of the way.
But even then, when he's not Thor, there's still he was still Odin's son. He still carried Yarnbjorn, but there's no mention of him in the comics. He's in no lineup. He's in no book. Nothing of the sort.
Yeah,
so I want to know. I want to know if he'll even exist in that continuity as Thor, or if they're Marvel's just moving forward, making a new continuity where the main Thor has always been female. Because you got to think about it, it's a new starting point. So if their new starting point going forward, like if we think about this down the line, like maybe 30 years from now, when new kids are writing like, "Oh, Thor's a woman," like I remember back when Thor was a man,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
it's very well possible that they just wrote Odin's son out.
Yeah.
And with all this,
because Hyperion's in the Squadron Supreme book. And
I'm excited for that one.
So
and
that's
with all this new comics, they could definitely do some more. They could totally skip over things into the movies. We are way past the timeline, by the way.
Yeah.
But that's all right. This is a big topic. They could definitely do a lot with things like this in movies because we were wondering like what they're gonna do, and there's definitely things like this. They could do a Spider-Gwen movie. I would love for a Spider-Gwen movie. That would be awesome. And you know what they could do since Gwen's from an alternate universe, they could bring Emma Stone back as Gwen because she's from an alternate universe where she didn't die. So they could just be like, "Oh, you're in this universe now." Yeah.
I think after Amazing Spider-Man 2, unfortunately, she was like, "Oh, I want to stay away from the superhero genre." I think she
sucks. She would have been good
comment about
Gwen
that.
Again. Yeah, she'd have been good as Gwen.
Anyways, I think we should try to move on to the next one now.
Unless it's got anything else? Anything? No, going
Well,
once.
we could talk about this for hours, but
Yeah.
I mean, this is a lot of speculation.
Alrighty, so Marvel TV shows colliding with the movies. There's been an interview with Kevin Feige that he says once the TV shows get bigger, I think it was that they're going to start colliding with the movies, and we've seen this kind of already with how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is preparing for Inhumans.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that Daredevil too, somewhat, but which I still haven't finished Daredevil actually.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh
got
my
2
god.
episodes in.
It's amazing.
Yeah, you need to finish that. That's like your homework, man. But yeah, that's the thing when I read about Feige doing that as well. When he was talking about the universes overall, is that the comics have been shaping the movies have been shaping the TV shows, but now they're talking about the TV shows shaping the movies as well. Like, and so at a point where it affects it, just like you said about Agents of Shield, um, bringing in the Inhumans before the movie comes out, they're definitely shaping it. And as you saw already in Agents of Shield season 3, they already confirmed to be about Secret Warriors. So I don't know if you guys ever read Nick Fury's Secret Warriors, but I think it'll be interesting to see.
I've seen one episode of Agents of Shield, and I don't even think I saw it all the way through.
Yeah.
I did not like it. I don't know why. I watched the first episode. I thought it was boring.
Yeah, I give you that because that's the problem that a lot of people have with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that's a characteristic of almost any Joss Whedon show. The first season is slow. It's slow and it drags. But think about it this way, going into the Marvel perspective. It's what the actor who plays Coulson, Clark Gregg, was saying, was that you're getting greenlit to do a S.H.I.E.L.D. show. But Marvel also tells you, in a few months, like halfway through your season, we're going to do Captain America's Winter Soldier, and S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to fall. So everything your show is built on is going to die. And they're
How
like,
is
hey.
Coulson back, by the way? Or is that something that's going to spoil it?
Yeah, that would be something spoilerish. Like, you need to actually see that scene. It's a very powerful scene when they actually explain how he's back and why he's back.
Okay. Is
So-
that in the first season, or do we need to watch like a whole bunch?
It's in the first season, but if I were you, I would just kind of skip like the first several episodes, just go to like the back end of the first season, because that's when it starts getting good. Like back end of the first season gets really good because it starts catching up with the Captain America Winter Soldier stuff. Like you start seeing all the Hydra influences within Shield from a perspective you couldn't see from the movies, and then everything kind of blows out at the end. But season 2 was a completely different story. Season 2 blew it out of the water completely. And it looks like it's just leading up to season 3 making it a lot better. And I just rewatched the finale about 2 nights ago and still blew me away.
Yeah, I have to agree with NerdHype on that one. Like,
What if? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. The first season is like, it's like meh, you know. But the second season, that's when things start to get serious and it starts to get really good. So just like watch the last few episodes of season 1.
Yeah. What if instead of making a movie about Secret Wars, they made a show about Secret Wars? Because I find the problem that they have with a lot of like the movies sometimes are they can't fit it all into like a 2-hour, and they don't want to go like super long. If they made a show, like even if it was like a 2-season like short kind of show, where like they made the first season was, what is it? The lead up to Secret Wars, and then like they made a whole season just about the Secret Wars, so that way they're not limited. They can make like hour episodes, like because a lot of shows do that. They could have like, and that way it's a show, and you don't have to have like a 24-hour movie.
Yeah.
and you can have, because that would almost be interesting, and then they could have maybe not necessarily the same actors as in the movies, but it would help, and that way the actors get paid more money, and we as the fans get to see something interesting like that come into play. That'd be really interesting. I feel like that would be better than a movie.
Yeah, and that's the thing that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is really excelling at, is they're kind of gluing everything together. They're piecing everything together from the movies, so it's kind of like if you're a Marvel fan, you get the full experience from watching the movies and watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I believe there's somewhere on the internet, there's even this like list of what you should watch in chronological order, and there's like Captain America, the First Avenger, and blah blah blah, and episodes this through this of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and you watch a movie, then episodes this through this of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so you get all the story. It's pretty cool when you put it in practice, and I think the Netflix shows are only going to make it even better, like filling in more of those gaps.
What are what are all the shows now? I remember when I stayed up till like midnight when Daredevil came out. I thought I was going to be like super hyped for it, and I just haven't caught up on it. I stayed up, and when it first came out on Netflix, I searched for Netflix, and it had the related titles, and I don't know if they meant for this to happen, but when you looked in the related titles, they had all the future shows. They had Luke Cage,
Jessica Jones and Iron Fist, and then the Defenders.
Yeah. They had that, and I was like, I don't know if they meant to do that, but it's there. And then they have the Punisher. Do they add any more shows to that?
No, the Punisher's not getting his own show. He's just going to show up in season 2 of Daredevil, which is something that got fast tracked because there was like no intention to give Daredevil a second season, but due to how good it was and how well received it was, they kind of fast tracked the sequel.
When does season 2 come out?
Yep.
Next year.
Next year.
And essentially, the TV shows right now are kind of like tie-ins in a big event, in comics. That's what like the TV like Agents of Shield is right now, which is pretty cool because you get the full experience.
Oh, go ahead. I need to rethink what I was about to say.
No, and I was going to say, because if you've watched the first 2 episodes of Daredevil, then you already know how it ties into the MCU, where Hell's Kitchen is all, messed up because of the battle in New York. So everyone's, like, they're kind of taking advantage of the situation and doing all their behind-the-scenes crimes because of the disarray that Hell's Kitchen is in.
Yeah.
So that's a neat little tie-in. They even have a reference to, in later episodes, when Ben Urich is looking through through his newspapers, they even referenced the Hulk battle with Abomination.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were going to spoil something.
No, he's just looking through newspapers, and it's like, oh, there's the Hulk and Abomination, like, fighting in Harlem.
That's interesting. If Red Hulk, I'm going to say it again, if Red Hulk isn't in Civil War, I'm going to cry. I'm going to straight cry in front of the movie theater and start yelling at the screen. I'll probably get kicked out, but only... So if we're on Comic Talk one day and you guys ask me how Civil War was and I say I didn't get to finish it, then you'll know why. Because I really think it would just add so much for Marvel, not only as the fans, it would help the fans, but it would help Marvel as, like, the studio. It would be like that. It gives them more stuff. And they can't do a movie about Hulk. They were saying they can't do a movie about Hulk, but they could do a movie about Hulk and Red Hulk and potentially add in She-Hulk and make a Hulkverse movie. That's something they could do. Yeah, they could have a movie about multiple Hulks, not just Hulk smashing. Be like Hulk beating other Hulks up and trying to do.
That's the
Hulk
thing
stuff.
about the Hulk in the MCU is that he's just been relegated to a punching machine. That's all he does. There's nothing really for him to do. Like
he'll smash character in the comics.
He'll smash into a couple tanks. Like he'll fight the Hulkbuster. That's all cool. That's all awesome. But I mean, you really didn't get to see him fight someone really equal until you saw him fight Abomination in the Edward Norton movie or whatever. And so, who else are you going to bring in? Because Abomination's still sitting in the background. They can bring back Abomination whenever they want.
Did he die? I forget what happened at that.
No, S.H.I.E.L.D. has him in custody.
Oh.
I think that they referenced that in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. one time.
What was I going to say? Couldn't they... Damn it. Oh, yeah. Hulk, I'm forgetting. Damn it, I forget everything important I'm going to say.
Is anybody else wondering where Betty Ross is?
Yeah, like they might reference that in Civil War now that Thunderbolt Ross is going to be in it.
Yeah, because I'm hoping she comes back as a different character, though. I mean, actor.
That would be cool. I wouldn't mind seeing that, even though Hulk and Black Widow have their thing going on right now.
Yeah, I know it's weird, but whatever.
Yeah, I remember. Do you guys remember? Was it like Big Suit Hulk? When he went to Las Vegas and had a tailor make a bunch of suits for him, and then he became like a mob boss.
Yeah, I remember.
And that's when he became gray again.
Yeah, wasn't it under the Joe Fixit name that he did that or whatever?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was super funny. Yeah, that was pretty funny. I like that.
Yeah, they've done some interesting things with Hulk. It's just
because you can do stuff with him, but in the movies, they're not using the Hulk as you can fully use the Hulk.
Yeah. That's a problem, is that only putting him in Avengers pieces that you can't really explore him. If he had his own movie, then I bet you can do more. But I don't know. I don't know how because the problem with the Hulk movies is that the first one left such a bad taste in people's mouth. Ang Lee's little think piece about a green rage monster. The first one.
Hulk?
Not the MCU one, the Hulk, not the Incredible Hulk, the Hulk.
The one with like the old school one that had the really bad looking Thor in it.
No.
Are you talking about? Oh, that Hulk. Oh, I know.
The Eric Bana one. The Eric Bana one.
Not the original Hulk.
Yeah, that one. No.
Hulk.
That one left such a bad taste in people's mouths.
It was one of my favorite movies as a kid because I like the scene when he's running in the desert and like destroying tanks and shit with missiles. But
yeah,
But yeah, the movie overall was bad, especially the transition scenes where they'd have like they tried to integrate comics, so they'd have like one picture in it and they'd like
Oh,
transition.
yeah.
Do you remember that? That was so
Yeah.
bad. Yeah, that was just bad.
Yeah.
That kind of messed it up for Hulk.
The thing was, is they were trying to make him. They try to make the movie a think piece. Like they may try to make it deep. It's the Hulk. Like it's not. It doesn't work out that way. Like you.
Well, I kind of have to disagree on that because the relationship that we see between Hulk and him having to struggle with, or Bruce Banner having to struggle with being the Hulk, and then at some points having his relationship struggling, that can kind of have feeling and emotion to it. But then
it can be, but it has to be super balanced though, because you also want to see the Hulk beat up someone that's like the Hulk. That's why the Abomination fight was cool, because they were on the same level. Then you get some like real heavy hitting stuff. Like you got to balance it out. Like you can do the whole struggle between the Hulk, and I think the Avengers movies have done that better than anything. They had the struggle with Mark Ruffalo pulling out the Bruce Banner struggles about being the Hulk in just these little short scenes. I think they've cemented that, and I think that's perfect. But we want to see the Hulk punch stuff too. Like, I don't want to just see them like, oh, contemplating. I'm gonna look in a river and I'm like, oh, it sucks being the Hulk. No, we want to see him punch some stuff.
Definitely.
Is Abomination and A-Bomb the same person? I didn't think. Are they?
No.
I didn't think so. Yeah.
No.
I didn't think so. I was talking to somebody and they tried to tell me that. And I was like, I don't think that's right.
Sidebar 2, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2 introduced Absorbing Man. So I'd love to see Hulk versus Absorbing Man.
Yeah.
Absorbing Man, who was he?
One thing that they didn't do in the movies that they did, or with Abomination, is he's like a green dude with. They didn't do the ears.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They didn't do the ears. It's like one of the things that he's awesome for is his crazy reptile like wing ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. He just had a flat head. They did the rest of his body all right, but you need his ears. Come on.
One more thing about the. Yeah. I mean, I wish he would have had the little fish ears, like the. He looks kind of like a sea monster. That's how I've always looked at him with those ears. Like they look like fins to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Texturing looks good in the movie though. Just do the ears. They didn't even like try. They actually made indents in his head instead of ears.
Yeah.
They're supposed to go out, not in.
That's the thing too about these movies and TV shows things is that depending on the success, Marvel will fast track a sequel. Like Daredevil was so good that it's merited a sequel immediately next year. Like we were freaking out because we're like, oh my god, we're probably not going to get Daredevil sequel until after the Defenders. We're like, oh my god, and then Marvel's like, nah, you get it in 2016, you get it next year. So we're like, hell yeah, and it looks like they're doing the same thing with the movies. I believe Kevin Feige was discussing how if it depends on how Ant-Man is received, how the movie does, that they will fast track a sequel before Infinity War. So they will squeeze in another movie.
No. If you have time to squeeze in another movie, then you have time to squeeze in
more Civil War.
Different movie.
Exactly, more Civil War.
Put it in a different movie, dude. Put in like if you're gonna squeeze in an extra movie, put in an extra Civil War movie, or put in an extra World War Hulk movie. I don't know. I'm feeling Hulk today.
Yeah. I don't know.
Really
I'd love to see another Civil War movie because I can't imagine how they're going to do Civil War in one take. I'm personally really stoked for Ant-Man. Like, I really want to see it. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I was looking at clips out on it now.
Yeah, I love to see Ant-Man, and I'm going to. Like, I already have my tickets bought and everything. Yeah, I kind of like, managing my way that way. But anyways,
when does it come out?
July 17th. So.
Oh my God! I think that's the day I leave the state. It's the day I leave to go to Missouri. Wow, awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a review on the movie like ASAP as soon as I come home from watching it.
Oh, don't spoil anything though.
Yeah, we're not gonna make one with spoilers. Like the spoiler one will come out like a couple weeks later. Yeah, but I'm stoked to see it. James Gunn absolutely loved it. I don't know if you saw it on Facebook. Like he gave it like a rave review. He's like, this movie's awesome. It's my favorite movie since the first Iron Man, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's pretty cool because out of all the Marvel directors, James Gunn is the more abstract one. Like, he's the one who's doing the Guardians of the Galaxy, the cosmic side. So him giving it a seal of approval kind of gives me a little bit more confidence that it is pretty good. So, see how that goes.
Definitely. It looks pretty good.
So, yeah. Maybe we should move on to the next topic. I think we're going over again.
Yeah. I started walking in the other room for something, and then I totally realized I was on the podcast. I don't know why.
Yeah.
All right. So the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is revealed. The sequel. It's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
I think that's kind
It's
of funny.
fitting. Yeah, that's fitting for the style of movie that it is.
Yeah.
It's definitely fitting.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's refreshing because it's the Awesome Mix Volume 2. It's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yeah.
So I can dig it. I can dig it. Now, talking about the sequel, what's like the number one thing you guys would like to see in
Not a
Guardians?
Warlock. Yeah. That's a thing.
Yeah, I
don't
definitely
know.
wouldn't mind. Definitely wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind them introducing Nova, but James Gunn is pretty adamant against using Nova. Just
Why?
his reason is he doesn't like the helmet.
Well,
What?
screw you that. Then make a new helmet. You
Yeah,
already
or-
have the Nova Core. You can't just do that. You can't, like... That's like saying, we're going to put Hulk in the movie, but I don't like his color, so we're going to make him indigo.
yeah. Eventually, they're gonna
It's
have
like a
to introduce
trademark.
Nova.
Like a trait.
Yeah.
Because it's James Gunn's preference not to do Nova, but at one point Marvel's gonna be like, "Hey, you gotta do
You got
Nova."
it.
Yeah, you gotta do
gotta
Nova.
do
Nova. I said Nova. You gotta do Nova. Yeah, definitely. Because Nova's a pretty cool character, and especially, I feel like they're kind of bringing the Nova movies or Nova characters. They have, like we were going back earlier. We're not gonna get too wrapped up in this, but they have I think it's a Nova comic new issue kind of thing coming out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so it's Nova #1. The family business. So they could do something like that.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's still the Sam Alexander Nova with his father. If we were
Yeah, I
to see
think it is.
Nova in the MCU, I'd rather see Richard Rider.
Yep, Richard Rider.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people
Hope so.
like Sam Alexander's run. Like his Nino book was just awful. Like that book was horrible. So people were so glad that it ended. I never read it, but I read enough reviews where people were just like, "Damn, this book is garbo," so they didn't even want it.
Yeah. I see what you. Yeah. Yeah. If they do Nova, I feel like they'll do it justice. Hopefully.
I'd like to see Nova in a Guardians 3. Let me explain why. Because if they did a Guardians 3,
Yeah.
then they can do Annihilation Conquest.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
no, I think they can't do that because doesn't Fox own the rights to Annihilation?
Does it do that?
Annihilus? I don't know. It might be. But how
I heard
how-
something like that, but
they,
yeah.
they might learn. I think they do. They might do it, but they could do a version of it where they just replace the villain, and they could just make it like Thanos, or they could make it literally anyone else in the
Yeah, that'd
cosmic
be
side.
cool.
So,
Yeah.
what about the Thanos imperative? Like, imagine that. Like,
If it has Thanos, I'll see it.
something of that magnitude. I'd like to see that, like a Guardians, Nova, et cetera, team up. Like, that'd be really cool to see, and like against a really big villain. Because if it's like a Guardians 3, if it's the end of the sequels, it's gonna have to be
Proceed to
something.
watch it.
You know what'd be cool if they made Infinity and the comic event that was just recently with the Builders.
Hmm.
That'd be cool because that was a huge event too as well. And wait, did they team up? Did
Did
they team up with the Guardians?
What's up?
Go ahead. I was talking to myself.
Oh.
Oh, did they team up with the Guardians of the Galaxy in that event? I cannot
In
remember.
Infinity, and that's the thing, because I've been wanting to buy that trade
Yeah, I
paperback.
see it too.
It's pretty good.
I've been wanting to buy that trade paperback, but it's so damn expensive everywhere. Like
Oh, yeah.
I was looking up in Amazon, and like the cheapest it gets is like $50, and I'm like,
The
damn,
big thick one?
yeah.
Yeah, they have that at the comic store near me, which I tried to get a job at, by the way. The stupidest thing, I don't want to change subject, but so at the comic book store, they obviously have they have certain books that are like anime kind of thing that have nudity in them because people are just like
Yeah.
that, and it's a cool store, and so they have a variety of everything. So I told them because in California you can work at places when you're 14, and so when I'm turned 15 and I'm able to because then all you have to do is get a permit from your high school and get it all worked out with the owner and all that, and
Right.
you can get a job there. So I told him, I was like, hey man, it's all these laws I was telling him, because we used to go there every day, I was like, one of the store people that worked there, I was like, hey, so if I want to get a job here, like I explained it to him. He's like, well, that probably wouldn't work because we sell pornography here. I was like, where? And he's like, oh, it's over there behind all those boxes in that shelf. It's like, no one can even see that. He's like, yeah, some people will randomly come in and ask for it, and then we see it. Because they used to have pornographic images, like, hanging up on the wall, and then some mom came in and was like, hey, you should take that down. There's kids in here. This is a comic book store. I don't want boobs and Spider-Man in the same vicinity. And so, yeah, they're all, like, hidden now. I'm like, dude, if there's usually, like, 2 people working here, if somebody wants to sell it, can't I just be like, talk to them? Because there's usually like 2 people working there, and I was like, it's not like you close at crazy times. You close at like 8 o'clock, and so I think it's like in the legal limit or whatever. But I was just like, because they get to read all the comics that they want there before, they can sell them still, because it's not like a game where you play it and you mess it. It's like a book that you open up, and most people probably open up the books, like even customers, And the dude that works there is super passive aggressive. Like he talks to you. When I wanted to get World War Hulk, I went in there before I knew like everything about comics. I went in there. I was like, well, not everything, but before I knew everything about like certain comics like World War Hulk and stuff. I was like, hey, do you have World War Hulk? He's like, no. They stopped making that like years ago, or they stopped sending us copies of that like years ago. Didn't you know? Like, no, I did not know. And he's like, he just starts getting this attitude. It's like the dude's the most passive-aggressive guy ever, but I don't even remember what we were talking about. Oh, I was saying I want to see a Watch Who the Watcher. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, that could be something they could do for Infinity War. Yeah. Like, hey, there's about to be something that's going to happen, so I'm here.
Unfortunately about that, the Watcher is owned by Fox.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because it's a Fantastic Four property, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the deal with the Fantastic Four is that Fox kind of bought them with the bunch of perks. So they're like, throw in Kane the Conqueror, throw in Uatu the Watcher, throw in the Silver Surfer, throw in all this, and they got all that.
If we don't get Silver Surfer in Infinity War, I'm gonna be pissed, because he's like a very important person. We have him and coming into Doctor Strange is like
we're not getting him at all. No, because he's in the Fox, and I hate that because I love the Silver Surfer. He's one of my top 10 favorite heroes.
Unless Fantastic Four
they do a Sony kind of deal where they just.
Yes, unless Fantastic Four bombs. So,
oh, it will. I think it'll bomb.
Just hush. Everyone that's listening, don't see this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Let it go back to Marvel.
Don't see it. I'm probably gonna see it.
I'll probably see it just to slam it, honestly.
Yeah, I'll probably see it just because they're making Doom a computer hacker.
That's what I hate. I love Doom. Doom's like one of my favorite characters, and my God.
How are they gonna make him a computer hacker?
Not even a hacker. He's a pissed off blogger.
Oh yeah, blogger. I'm sorry, yeah, blogger. He's a pissed off blogger.
Like
yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna go on Tumblr and write about Reed Richards. Like really? Like screw that guy.
Yeah, and they're probably not even gonna do the face thing because he's like some perfect actor looking like model guy, and in the comics, Doctor Doom wasn't like super duper attractive. No, he wasn't like. And I'm not saying the dude's attractive. I'm just saying like he's like an actor, and most actors you don't see ugly actors unless they're old usually. But even Stanley is not ugly. But I was just actually watching an article, and he has like no hearing. Like somebody had to explain which is sad because he's getting old. But somebody had to like explain the question to him like 5 times.
Yeah, I watched him on the Ant-Man premiere.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, I kept explaining to him. And so he's probably not going to be able to pull off one scar, being freaked out about it. Or maybe he will, because he's an actor, and actors like to be perfect. Maybe he will be able to pull off the, I don't want a scar on my face because I'm perfect. Because that was one of his whole driving methods for his like suit and everything was, I have this scar that I think is a million scars, so let me put on this scalding hot mask and actually mess up my face.
Yeah, that was always the huge debate between Doom fans and anyone that even wrote or drew Doctor Doom, or hell, even manufactured a toy for Doctor Doom. They couldn't decide if his whole face was mangled or if it just was that one scar, one smallish scar.
They have an answer to that.
Yeah, they have an answer to it now, but that was always a debate. But if you see have you read Secret Wars #3? They took off his mask, and his face is completely like it looks nasty.
Well, that's because because originally the picture that I forget who his thing was, it had the one scar, and then when he put on the mask, since it wasn't cool enough, it messed up his face. So technically now his face is messed up, but originally it wasn't. That was a product of his own.
The thing about that though is that the whole thing with the mask, the monks putting on the mask when it was too hot, that wasn't until the retelling of his origin story. In his original origin story, we didn't know what it was. He didn't put on the mask too hot. He just made the armor and then he put on the mask to cover it, but it wasn't made too hot. Then it made his face even worse. In the retelling of his origin, which came down I want to say at least 5 years to a decade later, then they retold the story where he put on the mask too hot and it mangled his face. But originally, when we're talking about the original concept of Doom, it was always debated on whether it was just the one scar, the one small scar, or if his face was completely mangled, because there was a couple of comic series where they showed him kind of taking off his mask off panel, and then people would be like, "Oh my God, that's like the worst face I've ever seen. It's disgusting. It's horrible." So it was always highly debated. It mostly landed on who was drawing him and who was writing him at the time. But in Secret Wars, they finally, I guess they're going by that because his face is completely mangled. It looks nasty, like his nose is falling off and everything.
There, I'll look it up.
It's nasty.
Yeah, I need to read Secret Wars. So.
Oh yeah, I just got number 4 today, and I still haven't read it yet, but I'm looking forward to reading it.
Do you live near a comic book store? Or do you go to online or?
Oh, I sometimes go to a comic store, but today I didn't have a chance to because I was running errands. So I have the Marvel Comics app, so you just buy the comics and come out.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, why does he have a white mask?
He's in a white hood because he's God. He's the god of Battleworld. So.
Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
How did his teeth fall out though? The mask didn't mess up his teeth, did it?
Maybe it just eroded so badly that everything fell out.
What do you think about the? I guess it's something we probably could have talked about a while ago, but the new Reed Richards. What is it? What's his name now? Master.
The Maker from the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like him a lot better.
I haven't really, because I'm not a Reed Richards fan. As a Doom fan, I automatically hate Reed Richards. So I never.
This one's
really
evil as well, so.
Yeah, he's evil as well, but I never really paid attention in the Ultimate Universe, anyways. I was more of a main continuity reader.
Yeah.
So I never really bothered reading the Ultimates, which I probably will go back eventually and read, but I just never really got into it.
Yeah.
When the Ultimate Universe came around is when I was kind of on a hiatus from comics, because I had just gone through a slew of bad comics from the 90s and everything like that, so I was just I'm kind of over this for now. So I got into other forms like gaming and anime and manga. I started watching that, and I kind of left comics alone for a good while. It wasn't until the MCU started coming around that made me find out comics again. So I'm I'm gonna pick up comics and catch up on everything I left off, and boy, did I do it.
Yeah. Alrighty. You guys got anything else you want to say?
No, that's it.
No. Yeah,
Excited for Guardians 2. Let's go.
Alrighty. More Guardian stuff.
Yeah.
Peter Quill a girl? Is it?
Yeah.
What's the
new
Peter?
comics?
Oh, and Space Venom. Yeah. And what would be the female name for Peter?
I don't know because I don't know if it's Peter Quill per se, because it is in the comics. Those new comics that we were talking about earlier in the Guardians of the Galaxy line. It does show a female Star-Lord, but I don't know if it's Peter Quill because Star-Lord also has his own comic line.
Maybe it's Ultimate Universe.
I don't know. Maybe it's. What if it's Kitty Pryde?
That could have done.
Oh,
yeah,
Petra Quill. That would be the girl name, Petra Quill.
Yeah, what if it was Kitty Pryde?
Ooh, that would be interesting. Wait, but doesn't Kitty have black hair?
I'm not sure. It could be that, or what if it's Sue Storm or something? Because the Thing is part of the Guardians.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because I remember, I'm not really so huge on the cosmic side of Marvel, but last I remember of Star-Lord, he was actually the leader of the Spartax now. Because he had usurped his father, kicked him out of the throne, so he was a leader. That's why he was the actual given Star-Lord. He was the leader of the Spartax now, and that's why he had left the Guardians for a while and had his own line.
Wait, I don't
So
think.
maybe.
Oh wait, never mind.
So I don't know. It just could be someone else taking up the mantle of Star-Lord. Might be maybe he has a sister or something that we don't know about. I don't know.
I
Well,
was
you
can't tell.
watching. I was just watching. Maybe it's his mom. Maybe she came back.
Meredith Quill, it might be. Shoot.
I was just looking at something about the Avengers: Age of Ultron. Totally off topic. We're gonna get back to this, but Captain America killed somebody with a lightsaber. It looks like.
The
In the Age of
lightsaber?
Ultron comics, yeah, it's totally a lightsaber. It has a handle and a red laser beam coming out of it. Yeah, it's totally a lightsaber. It looks to be glass though, like a heated piece or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, carry on. Yeah, no, yeah, that could be an option too.
And actually, Peter Quill or Star-Lord appears in Infinity Gauntlet issue 2. At like the very end of the book, he appears in there. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That might be a different Peter Quill from a different universe or something. I don't know.
No, it's been the same Peter Quill, but back in like I believe it was 2005, Abnett and Lanning rebooted the Guardians of the Galaxy, so to the ones we know now, which is a great book by the way. If you haven't read that that run of Guardians, it's like the definitive
Which one?
Guardians. It's a Guardians of the Galaxy by Abnett and Lanning. So it's a really good cosmic book if you guys want to get into like the cosmic side. It's like where the new team like Rocket, Groot, Drax,
Yeah.
Gamora, Star-Lord, that's when they first formed to become the Guardians, and it's a really good book. That started in 2005 because there was a different team. I'm sure you guys are aware there was a different team of Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
which was like
Completely
Yondu and a couple others. You know, and they brought that back for a storyline. I think was in Guardians
wasn't it
3000.
Oh, no, I don't know. But isn't the Guardians in the new show Korvac? I think it's called. I forgot what it's called. But
Yeah,
it's-
there was a Korvac saga. That was a book line too as well. With Michael Korvac. Yeah, he's a pretty bad villain too. So I'd be interested to see if they bring it Michael Korvac for a Guardians movie. That'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
There was an Iron Man and Black Widow sex tape. What? I don't know why. I just gravitated toward this article, and it was just like because I was looking at one of the links, and that was just like on one of the sidebars. That's crazy. Yeah, but yeah, there's definitely a lot. Oh, there's definitely a lot of things that they could do. I don't know.
And as far as Venom being in the Guardians of the
Space
Galaxy,
Venom.
he's been a part of the Guardians for a while
Agent
now.
Venom has
Agent
to.
Venom.
That's kind of weird. Wait, can you guys tell me how he became a Guardian? Isn't he supposed to be like bad?
So Agent Venom, he became Agent Venom when was it Flash Thompson joined the military and got his legs blown off or something,
Yeah.
and then the symbiote was captured, and they figured that they would test it on Flash Thompson because he wanted to continue like helping, but he didn't have legs to do it, so
Basically, be another
They-
super
they
soldier,
bonded
so
to
to say.
yeah.
Wait, so
bonded to it.
this Agent Venom, isn't the same as like the other Venom?
No, the other Venom. I mean,
Oh.
there's been other Venoms. There was
This
Eddie
one
Brock,
looks
and
like
then there
it
was
is, though.
yeah,
This one doesn't
Venom,
look
and then
like
there was
the
I
original.
I think the Scorpion was Venom for a while as well. So it might or might not be Eddie Brock. No, not Eddie Brock. Flash Thompson. But what was I gonna say? I think the Agent Venom had the best, like the closest bond between symbiote and host. I think they really truly bonded. I know besides like Carnage or something, because like Carnage completely accepted it. But I think Agent Venom and Flash Thompson had like a really good bond, so that's why like he can control the symbiote without getting too much trouble or having any kind of sinister thoughts and stuff like that. Something or some other.
Yeah, and so this Venom doesn't look like necessarily the other ones because his mouth is like open and he just looks different. He doesn't look like the Agent Venom because Agent Venom looks like more of a tighter, covert black suit with like he has the guns, and this just looks more like old school Venom but tamer and different art style.
It might just be the artist rendition because I mean even Groot looks a little different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's a certain thing that with Agent Venom, he has like his utility belt and all that, and I think he has like just the gear he's kind of wearing, and
Yeah, I don't think it's
It is-
Agent Venom. It's just Venom because the list on the lineup for the comic book cover just lists him as Venom, not Agent Venom. So I think it's just straight up Venom.
oh, what's Flash Thompson's real name Eugene?
What was that?
Is Flash Thompson's real name Eugene?
I'm not entirely sure.
You just got really clear. Oh, Comic World dropped out. Oh, yeah, because I just looked at a picture and it seems to have. It looks kind of a close up of this bigger Venom, and it looks like this is Agent Venom, and we were totally wrong. He just looks bigger, and he has like certain stealth items on his like watch, and he has the shoulder pads, and he has like markings and stuff, and a shield on his like face. He just looks different, and then it says it's Eugene Thompson. So unless Flash Thompson is like,
let's see here.
Yeah. If you just look up Agent Venom, it should be like the very first image.
Yeah, his name is Eugene. Eugene Flash Thompson.
Yeah, then that should be it. If you just look up Agent Venom, then it will probably be like one of the very first things. It's really interesting.
It is him. If you looked him up on the Marvel Wiki, it is him right there. It says Eugene Thompson, Earth 616. That's what he is. It looks like. So that is him.
Yeah, that's cool. That makes
a lot more sense.
Yeah, he looks way bigger though.
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe because the symbiotes like to evolve, so maybe that's what happened.
That's true.
But yeah, definitely, it looks interesting. I wouldn't be surprised.
That could definitely be something that they could do with that. And again, back to the Star-Lord being a girl. That could definitely add a new spin on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're back. Hey.
Oh yeah, I've been back for a while. Accidentally left the call.
I have to ask, how do you guys feel about this diversifying thing that they're trying to do? Because I read a comment somewhere online where it was like, Marvel's Secret War is a secret war against anti-diversity. Because it looks like they're just trying to, spread all the minorities into like the Avengers and everything.
I feel like in order to try to keep up with like society, they are trying to do that. But in comics, it's not racism that they're doing. It's superheroes, and that's how superheroes are. So I get they're trying to like incorporate, like gender, new like girls and different races and things like that. But still, they're.
I don't know how, because it feels like it's just too try-hard. Like, Stan Lee even spoke up about it not too long ago, where he was like, if you want to make gay characters, make a new character. If you want to make, someone from a different race, make a new character. Like if you see Web Warriors, they have Spider-Man UK, Spider-Man India. They even have freaking Spider-Ham. You can make new characters.
Is cool though.
Yeah.
That's not in it to do anything. That's just Spider-Man. He's cool.
Hey, being a pig is a minority, all right? No, but honestly,
rights too.
I agree with that. I agree with what Stan Lee is saying. There's no reason to take already existing characters.
Bobby.
What's that?
Like with what they did with Bobby?
Yeah. There's just no way to give it, 50, 60-year-old characters of continuity and suddenly change them. Like, out of nowhere, oh, he's gay. Out of nowhere, oh, he's this now. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, just create new characters, and they'll be. I mean, you can see the new characters work out. Obviously, Spider-Gwen worked out. You have Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, which ended up being like hugely popular.
Yeah, Miles Morales.
Miles Morales, that's another one. So you have new characters, and it's I don't see the reason of why you would change certain things, because to me, it's not like I'm against diversity, but it's at the same time, it's like if it doesn't help the story,
why change it? Exactly.
If it's not going to, it feels like it's just pandering to me.
They're just trying to almost be that kid that fits in with everything else. They're trying to bring comics to make them fit in. But, just make a new character. Don't try to make it fit in as much as if you want to have, different characters, then make new characters like that. Don't take Spider-Man and try to push him out to bring some new character in. I give in Miles Morales is awesome, but, make Miles Morales. Make a Latino, African-American, make a kid that's going through the same thing get bit by a spider. Because they did it with Silk, like you were saying they did it with Silk, she also got bit. Like, not just her, it was Peter Parker, and then she also got bit. So, can't they do that again? because they have the genetically engineered spider and the radioactive spider in different versions depending on what you look at. So maybe he is friends with Peter Parker. Maybe he went to high school with Peter Parker and he was like almost kind of like a best friend that we see as like a hidden best friend, and then he meets up with them and is like, hey, I'm Spider-Man, and maybe you could help me take on the responsibility of being like my sidekick or something, and that way they don't have to like try to push out this character in order to be racially sensitive, I guess. That way it's not just all one thing.
I get it. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I get it when it's like when it's it's a lot of work to come up with a new character and they might not stick. And I'm like, that's cool and all, but over the last couple of years, Marvel has brought out a bunch of new characters and they've stuck. Like the biggest example, like I said, is Spider-Gwen. You have Silk, and then you have Miss Marvel Kamala Khan, who is I want to say she's Middle Eastern American. So that's definitely a big step in for minorities, and she's a breakaway, and she's an Inhuman, and her powers aren't really like that really impressive. Like she can grow big. I think her powers are like she can grow her limbs to big. She can grow stuff, different parts of her limbs to different sizes or something, and some other. But she's popular. Like her comic line, she's part of the new Avengers lineup. Her comic line was popping, so I'm like, why can't you just do that with everything else?
Yeah.
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 It's
no,
doable.
that makes sense. Yeah. I feel they're just I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, I'm all for new characters. I'd love to see new characters actually.
Yeah, me too. It'd be nice to see new ones.
They are adding new characters, but they're almost like pushing out characters.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, we'll see where that takes us.
Yep.
Definitely.
All right, so you guys want to start wrapping up, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have we can wrap up. I have a picture to send to you both. But yeah, so this one went a little bit over, but of course we had interesting topics to talk about, so it makes especially with the comic things, we could literally go all day about the comic cover things.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so there's definitely a lot more that we could hold, and if I feel like we could almost do an after show on this, but if I don't know.
Yeah, there's always room for possibility. Like I'm planning doing an in-depth coverage video based on NerdHype news for all the comic covers, where I'm just going to go over and give my thoughts on each and every one of them. But aside from that, I guess
like a great idea.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna do that now. Thanks for the idea.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm busy with my current thing that takes me years.
What would be cool for us to do is that if we each take like a certain number of comics and we each discuss like those comics, and then one person discusses a section, and then we off and off like that. We just kind of like, you want to see the rest of them, link them to this channel, link them to that channel.
Yeah,
that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's something we can definitely do.
Yeah, kind of like an inter-channel project, and we could do that on the website if you want to do that for exclusive content, or either or. But I guess right now we could talk about, see if anybody has any kind of like announcements that they want to say.
Is that directed towards anybody specific?
No, I'm just saying if anyone wants to make any announcements, might as well right now.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be doing actually, you know what? I shouldn't announce that yet because I'm making a video about it. I have a new video that you guys should check out when it comes out. Probably, I don't know, whenever it comes out, maybe tomorrow. And so that way. See, my goal here is, because I might be leaving to go away for a couple days, I'm going to schedule like 5 videos to upload. It's something that I learned from old, things that I used to do, old videos. Mm-hmm. If you do a bunch of videos at one time and then schedule them all to upload, you take a lot of stress off yourself, because in the moment it might be stressful to have to edit it all, but instead of having that stress span out over days, you can like get it all knocked out, and then you don't have to worry about it. You just have to get the email notification that your video has been uploaded, and that way,
Right.
So that way you can have all these videos out, and if you're in the heat of a moment one day and you're like, damn, I'm not gonna have time to upload a video because I have all these things or errands or maybe my friends want to go hang out with me. I'm gonna go see a movie, something like
life
that.
happens.
Then
Life
you got
happens.
it covered. Yeah, life happens, and you got yourself covered. It's almost like an investment for your future by editing. Did you see the thing I sent you, by the way?
Yeah.
Did it open up? Did it move?
Yeah, it was a GIF.
Yeah, it was the funniest thing ever because I pulled it up on this page, something that they were I forget what it was, and that was just like repeating on loop. I just died.
But yeah, what about you, Comic World? You got anything to talk about? Any announcements?
No, not really. I don't have anything planned right now.
What about
I don't know if
NerdHype? Oh,
Yeah, I got a couple. I'm gonna actually drop an announcement video probably tomorrow, speaking about the next project for NerdHype that we're gonna be working on. It's something I discussed in my our last comic talk, but it's more of the in-depth comic book videos. Like we're gonna have a couple segments. Like I'm gonna do the segments called Comicisms, which is about in-depth looks at certain aspects about the comics. Like I'm just gonna give you the first preview of the first one. It's about how the Pym particles work since Ant-Man's coming out. A lot of people might have questions about how Ant-Man can shrink and grow. Subatomic particle, it's fictional, obviously, that was discovered by Hank Pym by entrapping it in an electromagnetic field that allows the user to shrink and grow in size by basically sending your mass away to a different dimension.
Oh.
So I'm going to be going in depth about that, and I'm going to be explaining.
So if somebody were to say travel to that other dimension and Ant-Man was shrunk, could they take his mass and make him permanently small?
I'm pretty sure they could. It's just I don't think there's any other medium to get into that dimension. It's called the Cosmos dimension. I think there's no other way than to use that subatomic particle. So you have to have control over the Pym particles themselves.
That makes sense.
So I'm going to be discussing all that about how they work, all its history through the publication of comics, the users of the Pym particles, and even the usage of the Pym particles to travel to abstract realms like the underspace and the overspace, microverse, macroverse, all that. So I'm going to be breaking it down. That should be dropping sometime next week. I was intending to drop it this week, but I've had a lot of stuff happen. Like you were talking about, life happens. Had problems with my car, then I had problems with this, and so I've kind of been running around everywhere like a chicken with its head cut off. But expect the first Comicisms to drop, and then personally, I will also be working on discussing certain trade paperback stories and just going over and giving them in small little, I guess you could say, I'm spoon feeding them to you. It's just a little short run over on some of the trade paperback stories, explain them to you real quick and then move on to the next one. So that's just pretty much what's coming up. And also expect the next Infinity Cast, which will probably have you guys. It's just I've had my other co-host kind of busy as well. But we're going to have an Infinity Cast based off like Secret Wars and other comic talk. We'll probably discuss more of the comic covers on there as well. So I'll make sure to give you guys the information for that.
All right, yeah. Totally.
So that's it.
So does the radioactive spider give you martial arts abilities?
No.
Okay, because I was just thinking back, when did Spider-Man or Peter Parker learn how to fight? Because he went to a wrestling match one time, and he knew tricks and stuff.
Wasn't he a wrestler before?
No, he wasn't.
He just joined the match for money, right?
Yeah, because the spider physiology helped him, along with his spidey sense. The physiology has helped him dodge, and then basically you don't have to. If you're that strong, if you can just land one hit in, it's over.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But the moves he performs and stuff.
He eventually learned how to do martial arts. He actually created his own martial art to help cope with his, in conjunction with his spidey sense, called the Way of the Spider. So when you see him fight now, that's the martial art he uses.
Yeah.
I see.
So yeah, just as a little aside.
Yeah, that makes sense. Alrighty, guys. Are we good?
Yeah, it's about that time.
Alrighty, so I hope you guys all enjoy this. Make sure you go to everybody's channel, like and subscribe, check the website, and yeah.
Yep. So this is Danny Mac from NerdHype signing out. Believe the hype.
This is Comic World. I will see you guys later. And as always, keep on marveling.
Alright, bye guys.
Take it easy.